And I was just cutting through and I was just trying. I was like, there's so much congestion. How do I move my car? But there was this black Audi that was behind me. He stopped right next to me and he looked at me and then he rolled down his window. So I rolled down my windows. He's like, can I get you a cup of coffee? Like, I think if the gear shift happens from gear 1 to 2, there has to be, in that certain RPM, you have to change it. Yeah. If you don't, then I'm gonna have like blood pressure issues. Even when my car goes for service, I'm like, we need to get my baby back. I'm also at the same time very, very protective of this car. So this is a car that's majorly been driven by me.
Hello and welcome to another fun episode of History on Wheels with me, Renuka Kirpalani. I'm particularly excited about today's episode because we have a car that piqued the interest of a lot of automotive enthusiasts when it was launched. It set off a whole trend of souping up cars and racer boys. It may not have sold in large numbers, but those who bought one never wanted to part with this car. And today we have one such owner. She's a star, of course. You've seen her in Ishq Next Door, you've seen her in Pawan and Pooja, and you've seen her in Mumbai Diaries. Yes, I'm talking about Natasha Bharadwaj and her Mitsubishi Lancer Cedia. Natasha, pleasure to have you on the show.
Such a pleasure to
Ever
be
since
here.
I started this show, you're the first woman to be on it. So I'm more excited to share the space with another female petrol head and someone who enjoys driving.
I'm so excited. Yes.
If you have this car, it obviously means you enjoy driving.
I love
So
driving.
tell us, when did you get this car and how?
So I think got this in 2012. I've had posters in my room with like cars and spoilers on them. So I think this was something my parents picked out because they're also like enthusiasts. Yeah, I think the moment I turned 18, they kind of gave me the car. They're like, go have fun, because I've always been very, very passionate about automobiles, and horses and cars are two things that I love to spoil myself with. So yeah.
So you've obviously driven this car a lot because you've had it since 2012 and 13 was when it was discontinued. So you have a gem.
Yes.
How much have you driven this car?
It's been driven about 1,80,000. It's almost touching 2 lakhs right now. So it's been driven quite a lot. Yeah.
And have you ever had problems with this car? It's just run smooth.
This is the smoothest, most low maintenance car I have ever driven. Maintenance on a yearly basis has not given me more than 10K. Like, to be very, very honest and upfront. So it's been beautiful.
It's just beautiful how these old cars, you know, with less technology and all these electronics just ran so well. You really had to do nothing to them.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. And I think for the time when it came out, a 2-liter engine is not something that was even heard of, especially in this segment.
Correct.
So it was something that was super attractive, and I mean, I have all my mechanics come to me and tell me, "Ki ma'am, modify karo, modify karo." I'm like, guys, wait, because this was the car I was driving in traffic, and one audition to the other, to one shoot to the other. So I was like, yeah, my mileage is gonna go like super down. So I got another car. So I think now I'm gonna spoil this one.
Yeah, because this was a car that, you know, a lot of people love to put spoilers on and soup it up. And have you ever done any like events with this car or gone anywhere with it?
I have gone places with this car, and I think we've done a couple things where we've had to change the tires. But
so you've done some mad stuff because the tail is really happy to step out in this car.
Yeah, for sure. I have. But I've also driven some other cars. I went to Nat Tracks that's in Indore. It's the high-speed testing track, and went there with Mercedes, and we were doing like 300 kilometers per hour, and we were doing slalom and braking, and it was so much fun. So yeah. I was also very fascinated by the Defender.
That is one car that in this city is really great because everybody moves aside. It's like, you know, like paving the way like Moses. You just park the traffic and go with that car.
Oh God. I'm so glad you asked. I am a huge F1 fan. I am a very, very happy and proud Lewis Hamilton supporter.
Oh, join the gang.
Yes.
So happy to hear that.
I
Not
love
a
it.
Max fan. More often than not, they get a little stunned when they see that it's a woman, you know, and
100%.
you get a lot of thumbs ups.
Yeah. We've drifted it. We have
You did mention the tires needed replacing. So.
Yeah, I could smell the rubber. I was like, okay, great. We can also see some donuts, and it was fun.
Have you picked a next car that you want in your garage?
I have. I got the Audi A6, the sports line.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's really good. But I definitely want to have like a really nice collection of cars, and I want to be able to maintain them. So I'd like to have my G-Wagon and my F-Type somewhere at some point.
And you're an adventure junkie because you like horse riding, you like outdoorsy stuff. You've been an athlete, you like skating.
I do, yes.
Yeah, and acting.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
Do you find like there's a similarity between your horse riding and your driving and your acting? Is there some common ground between them?
I think all the three give me some sort of peace and therapy. For me, it's that. I think horse riding happened a little later in life. I picked it up as a kid, but then I eventually started riding much later. But I realized the horsepower that people talk about is actually when you're sitting on the horse and you can feel the wind go past your ear. And that is something that even when you're in a car, you get to experience the horsepower, and it's insane. And I think even the space between action and cut, it's so sacred.
Yeah.
So even when I'm going for my auditions or if I'm going for a shoot, I like to drive to set because this just gives me perspective. This gives me...
It's your silent space, right?
Yeah.
Your little bubble where you get to
it's
have
my
your zen moments.
Yes, absolutely.
You really have to be born in the Himalayas and be a saint not to have road rage in the city at some point or the other.
100%, 100%.
I know, especially in this city, I don't know about elsewhere, but like if there's a woman driving and sometimes if I'm in a rush and I'm just driving a bit fast to get somewhere, they look at you and they realize it's a woman and then they need to race with you. Does that happen with you?
That has happened. That has happened, and it's so funny. I think I'll tell you something. There was this time I was really late for one of my dance rehearsals, and I was just driving through, and this was I think somewhere near the SV road or something. And I was just cutting through and I was just trying. I was like, there's so much congestion. How do I move my car?
Yeah.
But there was this black Audi that was behind me. And initially, I didn't let him go because I didn't realize. Yeah. But then I was like, maybe I'm not going to let you go. And that went on for a while. Like, he just tried so hard to go again. He just couldn't. And then finally, I was like, let me just give him way. And then he came and he stopped right next to me. And he looked at me and then he rolled down his window. So I rolled down my windows. He's like, can I get you a cup of coffee? I said, so yeah, that did happen.
You almost got a date out of a drive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's pretty cool.
It was good saying no to that one, but it was fun for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I think that was also a sign of respect. I think the fact that he saw you and then said, cool, this woman, this chick can drive like that.
Yeah, because he started with a thumbs up. So I was like, great. This is great.
Yeah. She's running also like a dream, still smooth.
She is. I know a couple of wear and tear parts have to kind of be changed. But I think besides that, like I think the clutch plate and the suspensions have kind of gone a little bit when you go on these speeds. But otherwise, she's going great. I feel like the engine's got the power.
Yeah. And what I love about these cars is, everything not so digital.
Yeah.
Everything was just simple to use.
Yeah.
Everything was easily laid out. There wasn't just so much in the car that you had to distract you. It was just about you and driving.
One of the things I love about the car is the steering wheel. This is a proper racer steering wheel that I just enjoy. And it's a Momo steering and it's just so good. Also, there's a lot of stuff that keeps happening over here in the cars now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, I just really like a clean steering wheel that I can just move around.
Yeah. This steering wheel, so these cars were evolved from like the Evos, right? Which were like real racing cars and stuff. And this is from the Evo 8, which was like a real racing steering wheel. I'm
also at the same time very, very protective of this car. So this is a car that's majorly been driven by me. And I don't know if this is crazy or not. I think you can tell me. You're the best person to tell me. Like, I think if the gear shift happens from gear 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, like, there has to be in that certain RPM, you have to change it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then I'm gonna have like blood pressure issues.
Yes.
So which is why I can't have like someone who doesn't know how to drive the car, like drive it. So I end up driving this car all over quite a lot.
I agree with you. Like, I mean, sitting with a cab driver who's like going karaka, not changing the gears, like it's completely distressing.
Yeah, cab drivers, like if you're driving your own car, great. Mine, no. I just sit and clean every scratch on Sundays. And
because she's so well maintained. Like,
thank you.
The car, so when we open the engine bay, it's like chak. So, you know, that is really cool to see.
There are times I just park my car and I'm sitting in my car and I'm just there. It's like my second home. This is my first car. This car it has such a emotional value and quotient for me, besides it being a beautiful piece of machinery. I have laughed and cried, and it's seen auditions and films and prep and everything.
So it's your buddy more than anything.
Yeah, it's my buddy. There are times I just park my car and I'm sitting in my car and I'm just there. It's like my second home. It gives me perspective, time to think, and it's like my right arm.
Natasha, that was a whole lot of fun. I've really enjoyed driving with you. But before we let you go, we're going to do a quick round of rapid fire questions.
Done. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Manual or auto?
Manual.
Backseat or behind the wheel?
Behind the wheel, always. Oh my God, yeah.
What's your favorite driving song?
My favorite driving song would probably be something super Bollywood or something super Sufi, like two extremes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you Bollywood or Hollywood, but I think that answer gave me this one.
Oh, then it's going to be both. But then we can still keep it Bolly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, money no bar. Yeah, if you had all the money in the world and you could buy one car, which one would it be?
Okay, I actually want 3, and Ferrari used to top it for the longest time, but I think I want to definitely have a G-Wagon, and I want to have the Jaguar F-Type. For sure.
That's a nice selection of cars.
Yeah.
And Jaguar F-Type would be quite rare now since Jaguar stopped production.
They stopped
That's something that's going to become a collectible very, very soon.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you some Lancer-specific questions now, Cedia-specific questions actually. Let's see how your GK on this is.
Oh my God.
Okay, what's the full form of Cedia?
It is, wait, I know this. It's the Central Electronic Design Electronic Assemble, or wait, am I close?
No, so it's basically Century Diamond, which they had, which was like
Century Diamond,
which they short formed and did that.
No.
Yes.
No Google search is gonna tell me that.
Okay.
What?
Mitsubishi came in with a joint venture in India, and there was an Indian company that manufactured these cars. Do you know which one it was?
The engine's German. No, I don't.
So they came in with Hindustan Motors. The same guys that manufactured Ambi manufactured these cars in India.
Right.
So yeah, so it's pretty cool. This car has quite a lot of legacy.
Yes. I learned something from you. That's
and you know, most people who have this car just haven't parted with it because it's just so beautiful.
I can't.
It still remains with them like it remains with you.
Absolutely.
Really enjoyed having you on our show. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
I have to say that I've just watched you do your thing and do it with so much passion and great that I'm just really happy that we got to do this. So yeah.
I'm excited. But you guys don't go away because we're going to give you a little bit of history on the Mitsubishi Lancer Cedia. So stay tuned. The Cedia has such a strong motorsport heritage. In fact, these cars were first developed for the motorsport world and then brought into showrooms. In fact, the Lancer Cedia, this 8th generation, shares its chassis with the Evo 7, 8 and 9. And if you take a closer look, the dash is actually identical to the Evo 7 and even the Momo steering is from the Evo 8. First shown in the 2006 Auto Expo in New Delhi as the Lancer Cedia, it was sold alongside the Lancer to begin with. All Lancer variants were built by Mitsubishi's Indian partner Hindustan Motors. From 2009 on, it was sold under the Cedia name alone, available as the Cedia Select and the Cedia Sports. In order to comply with the emission regulations and to accommodate the lower quality petrol, it used a slightly detuned version of the single overhead cam 16-valve 4G94 found on the Lancer. It had 115 HP and 175 Nm of torque, which was good at that time. But while performance wasn't all that good, it was the handling of this car that really caught the attention of enthusiasts. It was fun to drive, happy to let the tail step out, and it became a favorite. People spent loads of money to retune the car and put spoilers on them and whatnot. You could get OZ 15-inch wheels that are timeless classics and a rally-inspired body kit that still looks so good. Still, the Cedia was an expensive product for the Indian market, and so production was stopped in 2012, with it being completely discontinued in 2013. But it still remains a favorite amongst enthusiasts.